Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to do a really quick video and show you a cool upgrade that I've put onto my KSG 12 gauge pump action shotgun. This is my KSG. Of course, this is my second one. And this one's, of course, the flat dark earth version. My first one was black. This one has been running like a champ. I have it suppressed with a 6-inch configured Salvo 12 from Silencer kel on it. And of course I have a vertical pistol grip on the front there. And then I have a Hilux B dot red dot sight. What's kind of cool about these is that the B dot has about a 55,000 hour battery life. We've had really good luck with these things. I have 4 of them. Been running them before I come up with an opinion on them, but so far so good. I haven't killed one, and they have the battery life of a T1 Micro. But the part I want to talk about is this right here. It's from Primary Machine. And this is a brass deflector. If you guys remember my initial video I did with my black KSG that I didn't have such good luck with, I actually still have a scar, I don't know if you can see it, from my KSG, because my arms, if you shoot a KSG and you have long ape-like features like I do, it puts your arm right underneath the ejection port. When you pump the action on this KSG, it throws those spent casings out with fury. And it throws it in such a way that it spins it around backwards, and the rim of the case, the metal part, would hit me in the wrist every single time. And within 20 rounds, I was bleeding from my wrist. Okay, so how I got around that in the past is I'd either wear a jacket that would cover my wrist up, or I used a kettle guard that I would slide over my wrist when I shot my KSG. So I discovered these. This is the brass deflector from the Primary Machine guys. It's metal. It bolts into place using the two factory screw holes that the gun already has. You don't have to drill anything or do anything else. It takes like 2 minutes to put it on. There's a left-hand and a right-hand version of it. Of course, I'm right-handed, so I have a right-hand version on it. And what it does is that it keeps the brass away from my wrist. So when I pump the action of the gun, it's not throwing the brass and hitting my arm. It comes nowhere near my arm. Now, it's a cool idea. It's made out of metal, seems to be very durable. The only downside you guys are gonna not like is the price. It is $85. But if you shoot a KSG, you have monkey-like arms like I do. I know Hickok 45 had the exact same thing. We're kind of joking, comparing our scars at the NRA show a couple years ago. This thing's gonna be an invaluable asset to you and make your shooting experience with the KSG quite a bit more pleasurable. So let's do a little bit of shooting with the gun. I'm gonna load it up. Now, one of the questions you guys are gonna have is, how does it affect loading the shotgun? Well, first of all, loading KSG, like a tactical load, is a pain in the rear end to begin with. I mean, the gun's just not easy to load. I'm gonna grab some of these Federal target loads here. These are courtesy of Federal. I wanna thank them for sending them to me. All right, so I can still load the shotgun if I got my switch in the right spot here. I don't, so put my selector switch in the right spot, and I can just stick shotgun shells into the tube with all the ease I would normally do with the KSG, which isn't much. All right, so yeah, see, KSG is just not that easy for me to load. Some folks I know can really load these things fast. I'm not one of them, but I don't really shoot the gun that much. But what's kind of nice is, even though I'm fumbling around with the shell, that shell deflector is keeping the case on the gun instead of falling on the ground. I'm notorious for dropping rounds on the ground. All right, so we got some rounds in there. I'm gonna go ahead, pump a round into the gun. Let's see, why don't we get the camera over on the other side here so you can actually see what this bad boy's doing when I'm firing it. All right, here we go. Helps to have the safety off. So, as you can see, it threw the brass cases, or the empty cases, to my left. So it's past my left foot, and I did not feel a single thing hit me in the arm while I was shooting it. So that works quite well. You can see the brass marks from those cases coming out, hitting the metal. So anyway, the thing certainly works as advertised. Let's do a lot more shooting with it and play around with the Salvo. Oops, almost dropped my shotgun there. And see how quiet it is in the 6-inch configuration with some Aguila minis. Now, one thing I did note previously is that when I'm shooting these Aguila mini shells, these things are really cool. When I'm shooting these, I don't have the problem with my KSG hitting me in the wrist. These don't hit me, so I don't really need the brass deflector for these. see if I can line this thing up here. And the mini shells, this shotgun holds a ton of them. And they also flip around backwards in there really easy, which is what just happened. All right. Yeah, the Aguilas are really cool. I'm going to fire these over the chronograph here when it gets warmer outside and see what the muzzle velocity is on these. We have, I think these are shot, and we also have slug versions here. Let's go ahead and shoot the shot. No ears, 6-inch salvo. Now the guys at Silencer Co. tell me, yeah, you want to run this with the 8-inch configuration with sander 2 3/4-inch loads. Otherwise, it's not technically hearing safe. With these little Aguila shells, it should be just fine. That is awesome. That is frickin' awesome. I'd say the sound of the shot hitting the steel plate's louder than the gunshot. So this is my kettle guard. This is what I would use. I actually kept this thing in the Jeep just in case I ever took the KSG out. And this is what would protect my wrist from those cases coming out. I don't need the kettle guard anymore because this case deflector works quite well. Now what I will say is in manipulating the shotgun, it will touch my wrist on occasion. Like if I'm rotating it this way, you can see how it touches my wrist, but I haven't found it to do anything really painful. What I do like though is it keeps those cases off my arm 100%. All right, so these are actually Aguila mini shells. In one tube, we have 10 rounds or 11 rounds of the slugs, and then in the other tube, we have about 12 rounds of the buckshot. So, I mean, with those Aguila mini shells in there, you can pump this thing all darn day long. You're gonna wear your damn arm out because it just holds so many stinking shells with those minis. All right, switch over to the other tube here. I think I kicked a live shell out. Now I'm still able to get to the selector switch easily. You can see there's a cutout here. All right, so you just reach over and hit your selector switch. All right, yeah, short stroked it once there. This thing will wear you out, like I said, man. It's so many shells it holds with those Aguilas that you'll wind up having to pump it 20 sometimes. I know what you guys are gonna say. Get your minds out of the gutter. It's not funny. Well, maybe it is a little bit.
Blowing the ice apart.
I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at the primary machine brass deflector here for the KSG shotgun. It's definitely one of those things I'm gonna leave on my shotgun. It helps me a lot. If you don't have a problem with the KSG hitting in the arm, obviously you won't need it. But if you're like me, you're gonna find this thing tremendously useful, especially if you shoot your KSG a lot. Again, it retails for 85 bucks. I'll put a link in the description below if you wanna run over there and check them out, perhaps pick up one for your own shotgun. If you guys like support the Military Arms channel, you can do that by shopping at CopperCustom, which is our online store. You can swing by, pick up a Mac patch for $3.99, and it really does help us out here on the channel. Also, if you haven't already, please check out full30.com. That's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best content creators and brought them under one roof, and that is full30.com. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon. Actually, I like my KSG now.